Hi everyone, this is Dr. Chhoda with Ignition Time. Thank you so much for being a viewer. Thank you so much for being a subscriber. Today is election day, the most important day in the history of our country for a long time. My name is Dr. Chhoda. Thank you so much for visiting my channel. If you're not a subscriber yet, please join our community. Please click the subscribe button and please enable notifications. Thank you so much. Now in this video, I'm going to talk to you about something called reconciliation. Reconciliation is a process by which the Democrats, should they win the Senate and should they win the White House, it's a process by which they could not only do something for the Affordable Care Act, which according to the Democrats is in danger, if you will, but more importantly for my viewers and subscribers, they could use reconciliation to actually pass stimulus. So keep in mind that the current stimulus negotiations involve a bill in the House and then, a bill in the Senate. And then, Congress, meaning the House and the Senate, have to be able to together debate on, together vote on, together pass a bill, and then it has to be signed by the president. And that hasn't gone anywhere because essentially President Trump, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, and Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell have been going in circles trying to get something done. I would go so far as to say that, the three circles are not even part of the same not part of the same circle. They are in different trajectories and they are all over the place. But if a process of reconciliation is adopted, we could potentially see more stimulus through reconciliation. Now, what is reconciliation? On your screen, you'll see the definition of reconciliation from the Tax Policy Center. And reconciliation is as follows. Congressional budget committees use the reconciliation process to ensure that tax laws and mandatory spending programs are revised according to the budget's resolutions, revenue, and mandatory spending targets. Reconciliation is a way to fast-track revenue and spending legislation into becoming law. Now, that's a fancy way of saying that it's a speedy way, it's a quick way to actually get things done when one side holds a majority. Plain and simple, reconciliation is essentially a shortcut, if you will, almost like a shortcut piece of legislation which can move quickly through Congress and get quickly signed into law by the president, assuming that one side holds a majority. Now, this brings me to this article on your screen that you'll see on Politico. And the headline of the article reads, Pelosi eyes reconciliation to boost Obamacare and pandemic aid. A simple majority in the Senate, which may happen if Democrats pick up some Senate seats, tonight or in the election this week. A simple majority in the Senate is needed to pass reconciliation legislation, which makes it attractive for one party with complete power in Washington. So if the Democrats maintain control of the House, regain control of the Senate, the Democrats will effectively have a majority in Congress, meaning in the House and the Senate. And then if on top of that, we have former Vice President Joe Biden becoming the President of the United States, we would have a Democratic president, which would make reconciliation indeed possible, which would mean that the Democrats would effectively be able to do what they want, which, by the way, would also mean that House Speaker Pelosi, who held off for so long on negotiating a stimulus package, you could say that gamble paid off for her, because now they'll be able to use reconciliation to quickly pass some legislation through Congress. That would be quite something. So House Speaker Nancy Pelosi actually said this week that Democrats will deploy budget reconciliation procedures next year, so this will happen in 2021, to enhance the Affordable Care Act and provide additional stimulus relief if the party secures a narrow majority in the Senate, wins the White House, and maintains control of the House. I mean, that's quite a lot has to happen there. And I'm going to quote House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. We'll almost certainly be passing a reconciliation bill, not only for the Affordable Care Act, but for what we may want to do further on the pandemic and some other issues that relate to the well-being of the American people. Quite the comment there. That's what House Speaker Pelosi said. Now, what's interesting is that Democrats are closely looking at reconciliation again if they maintain control of the House, if they regain control of the Senate, and if former Vice President Joe Biden becomes president. They're looking at reconciliation very closely as a way to potentially pass trillions of dollars in policy priorities while avoiding any roadblocks from Republican senators, which they have run into because Republicans control the Senate right now. And this, they would not have to deal with the Senate's filibuster threshold, which is 60 votes. So if they do indeed have a simple majority, they don't have to worry about the Senate filibuster and the 60 vote threshold. This could be quite interesting depending on the outcome of the election. So keep in mind, again, a simple majority in the Senate is required to pass reconciliation legislation, which makes it very, very attractive for the Democrats if they have complete control of Congress. In other words, if they hold complete power and dominance in Washington, D.C. Now, there are certain limitations to reconciliation. Reconciliation is not a process by which Democrats can do whatever they want. There are certain things that are off limits, like Social Security, as far as reconciliation is concerned. But the Democrats will be able to use reconciliation to pass legislation that affects spending, that affects revenues, and yes, that affects the stimulus that you get as well, the next round of stimulus. I do believe there will be another round of stimulus. I've said this before on my channel. I believe it's not a matter of if, but it's a matter of when and how much. And a lot of that does indeed have to do with the outcome of the election. Now, keep in mind that Democrats actually used reconciliation to pass a majority of the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare, and Republicans later made an attempt to repeal the healthcare law through reconciliation, but they were not successful. And then they used that procedure again to pass their 2017 tax overhaul. So what happened in 2017, the big tax law changes actually happened through reconciliation, which is interesting, when Republicans held a majority both in the House and the Senate during the initial part of President Obama's term. So, it's funny, history might repeat itself if there's a blue wave tonight. So I think we're going to have to wait and see what happens. Now, keep in mind, Congress is indeed limited on how often it can use the procedure, and there's a chance that Democrats could use it twice next year. Democrats have also talked about the possibility of using reconciliation to pass an enormous green infrastructure package, a big green infrastructure package under what could potentially be Biden administration. So this is interesting. Keep in mind that Congress has not adopted a fiscal 2021 budget resolution, and it can still pass one for fiscal 2022. So congressional budgets don't become law, but the fiscal roadmaps include a map for reconciliation, which is a very, very powerful process. So we'll have to wait and see. And this is interesting. A spokesperson for the House Budget Democratic Chair, John Yarmouth. So a spokesperson for the House Budget Democratic Chair, John Yarmouth from Kentucky, confirmed that passing two budgets is a possible scenario for Democrats, and they may potentially use reconciliation. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. You'll also find a link to our resources and to the articles we've mentioned in the description section below. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time. I really appreciate you watching. If you don't know anything about me, please check out my video. You'll learn more about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. Keep in mind, we release videos at 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week. That's 2 p.m. You can get your cell phone out, send a text message with the word ignition or with the word time to 70,000. That's 70000, and then you'll get added to our SMS alerts list moving forward. Now, you can also get added to our email list. Simply go to ignitiontime.com/alerts. That's ignitiontime.com/alerts, and then you'll get added to our email list going forward. You can opt out of our SMS list or our email list at any point in time. No worries about that. Now, keep in mind, sometimes YouTube does not always send out notifications on time. So simply bookmark youtube.com/ignitiontime. That's youtube.com/ignitiontime, and then you can visit our channel any time that you want. You can also follow us on Instagram. Our Instagram handle is ignition_time. That's ignition_time. So make sure you follow us there. You can also follow us on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is also ignition_time. That's ignition_time. So follow us on Twitter. Our Twitter community is growing. Speaking of community, I encourage you to comment below and participate in our growing community, because we have a fun, engaging, respectful, diverse, vibrant community. So definitely become a part of our community. If you learned something from this video, please ignite the like button, please ignite that subscribe button, and please enable notifications, because remember, the name of our channel is Ignition Time. That would be your vote of confidence in us, and that does help out the YouTube algorithm. As always, you'll find the links to all our resources in the description section below, so check them out if you want to dig deeper into the content. And also, please share this video with friends and family. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Take care. Bye.